I normally give a 2-minute warning, don't I, Dan?
Yes, sir.
This time I'm not giving you no 2-minute warning. Sit down and be quiet. Should I do the gong for this?
I'm Henry.
This is the first time we've ever agreed to have somebody else bring the gong.
That's my second wrong. Yes.
Okay. Edison insists that I use this thing. So, what do you think? 38 years. So how many of you were even born 38 years ago? Almost everybody. Well, let me do it the other way. How many were not born 38 years ago? Okay, no bragging, no bragging. So, this woman has been the ultimate team player. Whatever you needed to have done, she just did it. And that includes her customers, who I know still miss her today. Do they?
Yes.
Should we ask them? No, they do. So, spicy personality. That's one of my thoughts. What do you say about Rosa? Even when we just ring the gong, there's always a little bit of snap involved in it.
That's Rosa.
And she's a member of the President's Club, which means she won Employee of the Year at some point in time. What year was that, Rosa?
88.
1988. So a few of you, right, Austin, weren't even born then. And my only one single personal story has to do with swimming, doesn't it? Because for many years I knew that Rosa did not know how to swim. And since even before Every Child a Swimmer became an alive thing like it is today, we've always offered swim lessons as far back as I can remember to anybody who wanted to learn to swim. And she was adamant, I don't need to learn how to swim. You can say that in some Cuban way if you want. Well, then all of a sudden, what was it, 4 years ago or 3 years ago? 4?
2.
4?
Just before I retired.
Yeah, you always one last dip in the well, huh? She walks into my office and in her typical style says, well, guess what? I said, what do you want? And she says, I want to learn how to swim. And I said, well, I got just the place. Aqua Champs, only 3 miles from here.
Yeah.
But I said to her, I said, why? After all these years of personal rejection, why do you want to learn how to swim? So guess what she told me? She said, well, I've got this daughter who lives in Pennsylvania, and they have a pool, and they have grandkids, and I don't want to go to Pennsylvania and have to just sit on the deck. I want to be able to get in the pool with them. So we made it happen. We made it happen. It couldn't have given me more pleasure.
You made it happen for those two when they were little.
Those are the ones that got the swim lessons?
Yes.
Oh, no, you got the swim lessons. They're the ones that motivated you to get the swim
No,
lessons.
they got the swim lessons as well.
Yeah. So Rosa's dad is here.
Yes.
He's
96.
96 years old. So she's got her brother here, her daughter, of course, and then the 2 grandkids, too. So 3 grandkids, right? 2 grandkids. So anyway, this is a special award. Mike Dooley is really the guy who came in and said, we need to have a Hall of Fame. And I never say no to Mike almost, so heck, here we have it. So Mike Dooley, why don't you come on up here and give Rosa your thoughts.
Thank you, Bill. So first of all, we have some Hall of Fame members here that are in attendance today, right? So why don't you guys stand up and let's give you a little round of applause here. And I think it's great, Ron and Danny and Gary. And you know, the thing for me was as I assumed the role of the presidency here, I started to think about all the people that contributed and made the company really what it is. When I started when I was 17 years old, and Danny and Ron and Gary, these guys were the stalwarts, you know, and Rosa shortly thereafter. And I said, how do you reward or how do you thank them, you know, for what they've contributed to the company and to the success of the company? We can't just let them ride off into the sunset. You know, we have to memorialize that some way. So that's how we came up with the Hall of Fame. And for you, Rosa, she is so special. And she's always been in charge, right? I mean, if you know around the warehouse, even when you're young, Rosa's coming through there, you're just like, yes, ma'am, get out of the way. And just awesome, just so special and so awesome. So thank you for everything that you've done. And we wanted to memorialize you as well, because you're a core part of the heart and the soul of the team. And not only with that, you have children. If they want to continue education, they can participate in our scholarship program, and grandchildren too. Okay, so as the grandchildren come, or if they're there, they can also participate in that. So I think that's very special too for your efforts and contributions. So thank you for everything that you've done, and this is your day. Congratulations. Linda's next.
Okay, just a reminder, this is a toast, not a roast. Relax. So, as we honor Rosa for her remarkable contributions to Team Horner, it's a perfect moment to reflect on the personal impact she's had on each of us. Mate, it's hard to believe that our journey has spanned more than 31 years, and what a journey it has been. I can tell you the font has had to get a lot bigger in what I read. Back in 1993, Rosa interviewed me to join what was then called Horner Discus International. From that first encounter, her straightforward attitude and encouraging words stuck with me. Give it a try. There's room to grow. Well, Rosa, it's thanks to you that I took that leap, and it was really great advice. So thank you. Now, as many of you may know, Rosa's management style is far from babysitting. Learning the ropes under her guidance was a hands-on experience that we fondly referred to as Rosa's boot camp. But make no mistake, her approach was incredibly effective. She empowered everyone around her to do their best. Individual growth was not just possible, but actively encouraged. Through good times and bad, Rosa's generous and constant support for the past 3 decades has meant the world to me. A consummate team player, Rosa's work ethic is legendary. In her 38 years with the team, I doubt she missed more than 10 days in total, and she was always the first one in the office. She is the very definition of loyalty, integrity, and dedication. Selflessly leading by example, Rosa has always remained humble, despite her many achievements and successes. She helped build our international business from the ground up, making a difference in many lives along the way, both here and overseas. Countless customers from around the world would echo that sentiment if they were here today, and they do miss you. I promise you that. There's a whole lot to love about Rosa, not least of which is her great sense of humor and the fun and laughter she has brought into our lives. the crazy Halloween and Christmas outfits, the riotous greedy Santa games, the big birthday celebrations, office decorating surprises, and 1,000 other random moments of joy that we've shared along the way. Rosa's boundless energy and zest for life continue to amaze and impress me. And she's still not slowing down. Between yoga, meditation, exercise classes, church activities, social events, and more, she's busier than ever and an inspiration to us all. She also looks younger than ever. In fact, it seems she has figured out how to reverse the aging process altogether. Above all, Rosa's deep personal faith and profound love for her family shine brightly. She is a devoted daughter, sister, mom, and grandma, and it's wonderful that our loved ones here today can see how much Rosa means to so many. In closing, it has truly been a privilege and a blessing to know you, Rosa. Thank you for being a great mentor, colleague, and friend. Your place in the Hall of Fame is truly well deserved. Congratulations. So now I think you want a few words from Rosa. We present the plaque now, the personal plaque. Yeah. So now, Rosa, the official presentation of the plaque that you get to keep.
What it says.
Yep, yep.
Okay. So Mike, come on up for this. Rosa, please come up. There's two.
Yes.
One for you. And then the other one, you can pull this off at the right time without pulling it over.
Now you're asking too much.
I'll say one thing about that is that when we decided to do the plaques, right? So you could have something written or some kind of a presentation, but what we said was that, what would you want to say to someone that didn't know you and maybe saw that plaque for the first time 10 years or 20 years from now? What would you want to say to that person about your journey here at Team Horner? And so they write what they would like to have said to that person in the future. And so it's Rosa's words, and everyone else that's in the club's words is very special because it's from them.
Right. And this plaque will be out in the backyard expo area outside along with all of the other inductees. So you can pull it off if you like.
It's in your language.
Very good.
Okay.
Oh, my turn.
Here, I'll take that. Put that over here.
Oh, boy. I'm good at some things, but very bad at others. Just telling you that. Oh, I can't read Linda's speech again.
no,
Oh, sorry.
That just tells you the order.
Okay, so you said about how good I look. I'm dating a plastic surgeon. That's the secret. No. I am very excited to see all of you here. Wow, I didn't expect this. I'm really nervous right now. Really, really nervous. But anyway, and I'm glad that you're all here today. I have some competition. It's voting day. Have you all voted today? Good, because I certainly did. Okay, I'm humble and I'm honored to have been nominated and become a member of this Hall of Fame. The very best that came before me and taught me so much. Early on, I started in the small building, and I didn't know how many people worked in this place. I had no idea. We were all segmented in different areas. So I didn't know anybody pretty much until we came to this building. So when I came to this building, all salespeople, I don't mean you, Dan. I mean, I'm talking about Bob LaCara, just the others, not you. Anyway, Bob LaCara, Paul Fulmer, Lee Wheaton, we came way after you. And Skip. Those are the ones that have gone before us. So when I first came, Bob LaCara will come around. I got to meet Bob over bagels and Bialys. I had no idea what either one of those things were, ever. I had never heard of them, but boy, that was my lesson from Bob. Then came Paul Fulmer, bless his heart. The man had the patience of a saint. He will sit there and give me all these technical notes and technical details, and I will sit there and I will be just staring at him, and the stuff will just be, Paul, I'm sorry, I wish I would have been a little bit better at understanding the stuff, but he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Then came Lee Wheaton, who I was supposed to be working with him when Miss Linda decided that she was going back to England. And then they said, oh, we cannot lose the operations and the sales manager at the same time, so Rosa, you have to just stay and not go to engineering. And I thought, okay. But I was really enjoying working with Lee quite a bit. He was fun, and his wife Dee, they were just terrific people. They were really great, and I do miss them a lot. Last was Skip. He was the last one to leave, and I don't even know what to say about Skip. He could have written swimming pools for dummies, and I would have known everything there is to know. He was straightforward. He didn't dance around with any words or anything. He spoke my language. I know he did not speak Spanish either, but boy, whenever he gave you something, you understood. You knew exactly what he meant. So that was the beginning with those 4 gentlemen. I know I'm going to join them eventually. Actually, I'm joining them now, but they're going to have to wait a little longer to, And I'll probably wait a little longer because they're probably working in pools, and I think I need a break. So it's just not going to happen. So back to me. After 38 years of service, I'm proud to be the first naturalized American, non-English speaking woman to join this elite group. Thank you so very much to the nominating team who felt I deserved to be here. My thanks to each and every one of you who have contributed in one way or another to my growth and success in my various roles with Tim Horner, for the opportunity to travel and represent our prestigious company, for allowing me to lead and make decisions when I wasn't even sure I was capable. I can't possibly thank everyone. I don't have another 38 years, guys. Bill, thank you for making me and many others owners of this company that you started and dedicated so much to. Linda, thank you for pushing me, believing in me, and helping me become a better version of myself. Gary, you have, again, the patience of a saint. Thank you for your guidance and taking time to answer my questions. I wish I could have been a better student. But I thank you. Last but not least, Kim Kent. Thank you for the Color Me Healthy program, for the coaches, and all the activities that come under that colorful umbrella. The health benefits and good habits will continue to be a part of me for the rest of my life. Some of you that were here in the early 80s may or may not be present here today. Some took a different direction at some point, but they also deserve my appreciation. Al Garcia, who hired me, Tom Redman, Ron Burr, Gary Chisling, Don Lockwood, Rosa, Grau, Cortez, Grexa. Bill, someone else has 3 names. I'm not the only one. What's my last name nowadays?
Bartolome.
Woo! Wonderful. It's right. I know that with the node. Rosanna Allinson and Maria Aristizábal. That's what all from the early
I'm
80s.
not going to say the other names,
Don't say them.
but I do know them.
In closing, thank you all for your support and for joining me on this very special day. There is a bit more on me in my plaque if you care to know more. It has been a pleasure dealing with most of you, even if only in passing. I love you all.
Yeah, one more. Okay, there's a list here of, this is called the run of the show now. We've gotten a lot more sophisticated, haven't we, Maria? Various other people who would like to speak. The first one on the list is Laura Costanza. Is she here?
Well, she asked to please
Not here.
send them congratulations, but she's
Okay.
sorry.
Gary Chisling.
Yep.
When you're done, just turn it over to the next one.
So as you now know, Rosa started in 1984, and that's when I first got to know her. We were, as she mentioned, in the building across the street. It wasn't that much longer that we built and finished this building. And over the years, Rosa and I never really worked together that much. Occasionally, we would get together and speak about logistical issues and try to resolve them. We actually didn't spend that much time together. We probably speak more today, and you're not even an employee any longer, than we did through all the years. But today we speak about Medicare and you know what body parts aren't working, what we have to fix. But Rosa, I want to thank you for your dedication and sacrifice for the 38 years. You know, I've seen all 38 years of that, the growth. As a matter of fact, at one point, and I'm not sure the first worldwide office, then Horner International, at some point it was on the other side of that wall, and then another time it was right here in this room, this divider, that column back there, I think it was on this side, and that was the worldwide team. And over here was the conference room. So that's, you know, it shows the change that Rosa's gone through all those years. And I'm not sure if it was you, this Rosa, or that Rosa, or any other Rosas, but I have never learned to speak Spanish, but Rosa did teach me how to roll my R's. So thank you, Rosa. And now the other Rosa.
Okay, my dear friend Rosa. A very well-deserved recognition for all your hard work and dedication. Throughout the 35 years I've known you, worked alongside you, and trained by you, I have learned so much, and I thank you for that. First, you were my boss, then my colleague, and now my friend. Thank you for always being there for me in good and not so good times. So now a funny story. Back in the days when somebody called, customers or vendors, they would ask to speak to Rosa. Now the question was, which Rosa? Well, they said the one with the curly hair. They both have curly hair, but mine was natural. So then the caller would say, sorry, but the older one. Okay, well, now I know which one. Love you, my friend. Matthew.
Oh my God.
Let's speak from the heart. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to say, all the times that we've spent in yoga together, I treasure those moments. Okay. Clarissa.
Hi, everybody. Not much to say from other people because we all know who you are. I can only talk about myself and the way I see you around with other people. You are one of the greatest blessings in my life. 10 minutes took her to interview me and hire me here. That was it. She was like, I want you here tomorrow. I was like, I cannot do that tomorrow. It took me more time to come from home, than the time it took her to say, yes, you stayed. And then she confessed, I wasn't sure if that was the right call, but I did it, that's it. And here I am 21 years later. So that means it was a good call, out of the heart. I have to say that you are the greatest inspiration for all of us, just like Bill, just like Mike, Linda, Darren, all of them. You are very resilient. You are strong character. One of the things that caught my attention when I started here was that everything was with a happy face. There were smiley faces all over the place, right? And I said, Rosa, what is all about that? Well, they want to keep us happy. But all of a sudden, next thing I know is she's talking to someone screaming, and the S word. Don't forget, S word. It was like, wow, that's happiness. But I learned the trick. And I became like her, So you are in me, in my family. I'm in your family. I love your kids. We have a great relationship. Love my amigo Antonio right here. Long time not seeing him. Tony, So it's great to see that you are getting all this, and congratulations. I love you very much. Jim?
No, to
Okay.
Kelly.
Oh, looks like you have some history there.
Yeah, I know.
Here comes the parrot.
So I was 19 years old when I started working with Rosa. I had never met a Latino woman before in my life. You scared the hell out of me. Literally. I walk in, and we had a little open alcove where LaToya works downstairs. And it was Rosa and Roseanne, Dan Lockwood, whose desk was mostly empty most of the time and people looking for him. Sorry, Dan. And myself. And I got to tell you, walking into Rosa and Roseanne, who were like this, was intimidating as hell, okay? And my only solace was that Roseanne didn't speak Spanish, so at least I could understand when they spoke to each other and that they weren't talking about me, unless they were whispering. But Rosa taught me many things as a young kid. She tried to teach me how to use the telex machine. That was not successful. I think I heard El Stupido Gringa maybe a couple times. The first time I ever heard her speak Spanish, I was like, oh my God, she is angry. But she wasn't. She was probably talking to one of her children. And it was probably a conversation filled with love, but you sounded angry. And then, as time progressed, what did they do to me? They brought in another Rosa. So now I'm like, it's Rosa, Roseanne, and Rosa. And then there's Kelly. Have you ever felt like that Sesame Street song, that one of these things just doesn't belong here? That was me. But I kid you, Rosa has always been a phenomenal mentor, teacher, friend, and colleague. And I know what you're doing since you've stepped back. You're driving to St. Augustine every weekend and you're drinking from the frickin' fountain of youth, okay? Because you do look absolutely fantastic. One of my goals is going to be to be like Rosa and look even better as the years go on. So far it's not working, but it is an ultimate goal. All I can say is very well deserved. You're awesome. I love you. And congratulations, Rosa Reichert Bartolome. You know, it was his birthday yesterday. I didn't know you with the other one.
No, you did. It was my first last
I
name when
know.
I come here.
What was it?
Lefebvre.
Lefebvre. That's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Next up is Mr. Lockwood.
I know. And I remember, I'm Dan Lockwood. How are you?
Everybody, there he is.
And if you believe half the stories they tell about me,
They're true.
yeah, they're true. Anyways, Rosa, I was thinking about what I was going to say, and I said, I'm going to say it anyways. If I knew you were going to look this good at this old, I would have hustled you a lot harder. You know, I'm supposed to tell the truth up here. But I'm going to give you a name of a company that was unincorporated, but Rosa and Roseanne and me when they could find me, because they never came looking for me in Saudi Arabia. So I was gone there a lot. We called it Jaime.
Yes, we go.
Horner International Middle East. And Rosa and Roseanne put up with my quotes that were as long as this room, and we never got any freaking orders. And I blamed it on somebody beside me because we couldn't get the freight right, because we didn't have a freight person. I go back to the Middle East, I said, what happened to the order? Your freight rate was too high. But we put a lot of work into that. And it turned out to be something eventually. But the passion that she has for customers, the customer service that she got from Bob LaCara, because Bob, for some of you who never met him, was the samurai salesman. Yeah, he brought donuts and bagels, but I'll tell you what, I see people nodding. Bob taught us all how to build this company. Bill taught us this. Bob taught us how to get and keep a customer happy. And happy customers do what? They buy and they stay. And she had the passion. And of course, she would come to me occasionally and say, I have to take all your skimmers, is that okay? Because she had a customer somewhere, and we had an unusual relationship. We have daughters that are same age, so we shared pretty much baby stories, and now grandbaby stories. Yours are a little more grown up than mine. Not Eric's, okay. So I don't care how many last names you had, you're Rosa, and I miss you, and I missed you for 20 years, but I'm back in your life and you're in mine. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't follow instructions right, so is there a Mitch here?
Oh, yeah.
There's a Mitch.
Pass the torch.
To paraphrase what the lovely Miss Linda said earlier, we are not here to roast. We are here to toast. But I'm here to boast. Rosa, I love you the most. Pardon me while I set up my 7-page speech.
Big font.
Good afternoon, friends and family. We are gathered here today to bring together. I'm sorry, Rose. I didn't mean to, I had to get that in there. I know you've heard that enough in your lifetime. Rosa has heard those words enough already. Today is not a wedding, it's election day. And our teammate Rosa has been voted into the Horner Hall of Fame, the Team Horner Hall of Fame, by a landslide. I was just 19 years old when Rosa started at Horner in 1984. 19, I was a teenager. I was sailing the Mediterranean Ocean on my first Navy deployment. To put that in perspective, I'm 60 years old now, but Rosa hasn't aged one bit. I shrunk a little, well, she shrunk a little, but she never aged. But in all seriousness, Rosa, to me, you're an Amazon. A 5'1" Amazon, 5'4" in heels, with a heart of gold. It's been said that friendship is the hardest thing in the world to explain. It's not something you learn in school, but if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything. The fact of the matter is, when I was going through the hardest time of my life, during and after my wife Bonnie's battle with lung cancer, Rosa was there for me every step of the way, through my journey, through all the good days and bad days. As I worked through my negotiation with God to pick myself up and march on, Rosa knocked on my office door every single day, 6:15 a.m., checking on me. And then her ear to hear my hurt, or giving me her shoulder to cry on. She's living proof of the adage that people come into your life for a reason. She's the very definition of the term Horner family. The summer of 22, we would often go to the food trucks locally, usually on Wednesday nights, and she'd have her grilled octopus, and we'd go to shopping in Sawgrass Mills or whatever I wanted to do or needed to do, just so I didn't feel alone, and she was there. If she needed a huge creature removed from her dwelling, I was more than glad to go to her house and rescue her from the 3-inch lizard that was in her bathroom. As I slowly came out of my funk, we became meditation buddies. Every Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 2, meditation with Rosa. If I ever failed to give her a hug, she'd reprimand me in that unique Cuban accent. What am I, chopped liver? When I found out she was retiring, I was a bit sad. But you reassured me you'd be around. The only thing different now after her retirement is that I don't hear your voice over the PA system in the warehouse. For someone to please call extension 1578 no less than 10 times a day. I congratulate you, my friend, on being the newest member of the Team Horner Hall of Fame. But truth be told, you've already been in my personal Hall of Fame much longer than that. It's only fitting that we honor you in the month of November, the month we observe all that we are thankful for, because I'm thankful for you every single day. In closing, a brief sentiment on this special day. By chance we meet, by choice we become friends. Congratulations, mi reina. I love you. Mine was last down the list.
Well, on the run of show, it says plaque unveiling. We already did that. Photos of Rosa. Are we turning on a slideshow here?
No. We're taking photos.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no slideshow.
You're gonna take a picture with her.
That's a slideshow in itself.
Next is the cake then. Cake is over here. Rosa. And then, ultimately, after the cake, what can you follow up with that's even better than that?
Ice cream truck.
A visit to the ice cream truck.
While we're doing that.
I forgot to ask, is there anyone else who wants to speak before we get to the cake and the ice cream? Nobody?
No, it's not too late. It's not too
Ron
late.
Burr?
If anyone
Hey,
would like
can we have you back in your chairs for just one more episode? Mr. Burr. Is there anybody else after Ron? No. Okay.
I didn't get the memo about being on the list, so I guess that as a Hall of Famer, I must be down.
We intentionally didn't.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I love you too, Bill. Justin, buy from somebody else next month. Oh, that's not true. You won't do that. Rosa, I always will remember, as purchasing agent, you used to come into my office with these long, lengthy orders. And not just orders, but orders with mega just amounts on them, you know. We didn't have that much inventory. And you always wanted to take everything and just ship it all out, you know, and everybody would come in and yell at me because we didn't have it. Lockwood, I guess that's why we didn't get the, where are you at, Lockwood? I guess that's why we didn't get the Saudi Arabia orders, because we didn't have enough inventory. I was waiting for that to come up, that we didn't have enough inventory. And then you told Rosa that she could have all the skimmers. How did you get that authority? I didn't quite get that. That's what I thought. Yeah. That's why I got out of purchasing, because I just couldn't take it anymore. You know, I had to get out. But what I will say to you is, and Lockwood already said it, you are the true picture of what Bob LaCara said a customer service person should be. And those of us who knew Bob, that's a huge compliment, because he was really who taught all of us in here how to handle customers. My son and I still do that today for our customers. Didn't know that you didn't know how to swim, and you have such a beautifully remodeled swimming pool.
I know. She knows how to swim now.
That's good, that's good. But in closing, what I'll say is that if you look around this room and you see all the people here that are Horner employees, and I don't know very many of you anymore, but you always have that opportunity to grow here, and that's what makes this company so special. Thanks.
Cake and ice cream.